Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle. But you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, on 7 things I wish I started earlier in life. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, model success.
I struggled as an entrepreneur. My first business, 19, quit on my company, making no money, feeling just worthless, feeling like I was waking up every day and going to work and just not getting results and not seeing anything happen, and just making it really hard on myself, you know? I still make my content for 19-year-old Evan, who needs to see this, who needs to hear this, who needs to watch this video. Hey, 19-year-old Evan, how you doing? I believe in you. Let's go. You know what the thing that saved me? The thing that got me out of the hole I was in was studying Bill Gates and how he did it and how he started Microsoft. Because I had a software company, he had a software company, and I thought, you know what, if he was young and he could do it, I'm young, I could do it too. How did he do it? And studying Microsoft success allowed me to start applying that to my business and finally start seeing some results. So what did I do? I just modeled success. I asked myself the question, on my lowest day, when I quit my business, I quit on my partner, I woke up the next day feeling like I just lost everything that I'd just been working on, that I had nothing to do, nothing to go to, just felt lost and hopeless. And the thing that came to mind was, somebody has done this before. I can't be the first person to try to build a software company before. Somebody has done it. I need to model success. And that's when I studied Bill Gates. And that's when I got a strategy that then started to shift my business forward. I got my first big deal, you know, $13,500. For me, was a huge deal at the time. And then was able to build up the company based off of modeling Bill Gates. And ever since then, whenever I don't know what to do, I model success. I find who's done it, who's done this before, who's accomplished it, who's done what I want to do in this one area. There's no perfect person, right? You want to model relationships, you want to model health, you want to model business. There's lots of things you can model. Whatever your goals are, somebody's done it. That one thing, go model them.
Rule number 2, find out.
Never give up is the best and the worst advice you can ever give an entrepreneur. The trick is knowing how to use it. If you love what you're doing, if you can't imagine life without this thing that you're creating, even if it's not working out yet, you're not getting the results yet, it's not where you want it to be yet, but you need to know. It's this thing inside you that has to come out. You need to know if it's gonna work or not. You could deal with the failure, but you can't deal with not knowing. If that's where you're at with your idea, with your business, then you have to keep going. Then you can't quit. Then you have to find out, because otherwise it's gonna eat you up for the rest of your life. If that's where you're at, then you must find a way to keep going, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if you have to take on part-time jobs, even if you fail in front of everybody. You have to keep going, because the regret at age 90, looking back on your life, the regret will be enormous. That's how most people live. Most people spend their entire life regretting the things that they didn't do. Go look at a retirement home, go talk to your grandparents or great-grandparents, and a lot of them will be filled with regret. I wish I did this. I wish I took my shot. I wish I had the courage. I wish I had the bravery to keep going. If that's what you're worried about, then you must not give up and find a way to keep going.
Rule number 3, serve.
You're almost always going to be torn between the hot opportunity, the thing that can make money right now, that you think will make money right now, the big trend for this year that's in Inc. magazine, or your cousin comes and tells you, or your best friend from high school wants to start this hot opportunity company that you're not actually that connected to, that you don't actually feel in your heart is the thing that gets you lit up, that you're waking up basically just trying to make money instead of actually trying to help people serve and feel like the work you do matters as important. That opportunity versus helping who you used to be, versus the business that can actually save people's lives. And that you'll wake up feeling you're doing important work every day that is touching people, that is meaningful, that is impactful. And whenever you get to that crossroad, make the right decision. Make the strong decision, make the courageous decision, make the bold decision. because it's also the long-term smart decision. And if you don't believe me, go back to Oprah, go back to Steve Jobs, go back to all of your heroes. Look at how they started. Look at what they're doing. Look at why they keep doing what they're doing. The number one trait that all successful people have in common across the board in every industry is that they love what they do. And if you need to win, if you want to win, if you're gonna make it happen, you need to love what you're doing too. Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, check out my 254 series where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you an unlisted video. The science says it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. So I'm going to be with you every step of the way. If you want to be on for free, 100% free, there's a link below. Go check it out. I'll see you there.
So you have to really want to do it. If it's a bucket list thing that you have to do and you're deeply passionate about it, you have a message that you want to share, or this needs to come out, right? You need to give birth to this thing. It's that important to you. Then you should go out and do it.
1, pick the right things to work on, and then 2, focus on executing those things. If you're doing work that you love, you're more likely to follow through. You're more likely to do it because it doesn't feel like work, because you love doing it.
Rule number 4, don't be afraid to quit.
I think people stay in things for too long as well. I think people stay in their business for too long. I think people stay in their relationships for too long. People stay with things because it's comfortable, because they know it, because they recognize it, because it's safe, because it's helping generate some money. They stay in the wrong thing for too long. If you are in the wrong thing, then quit immediately. I can't tell you how many entrepreneurs I come across who've had some level of success. Maybe they're not crushing it, but they've had some level of success. And then they start to hate their business. They start to get bored of their business because they never evolved, because they grew as a human being, but their business didn't grow alongside it. And you keep getting stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again, day in and day out, and you start to hate your business. And you feel like you have to stay in this company because you should never give up on it. No, quit. Get out of that thing. Either change, either adjust what you're going to be doing, like come up with a new product, come up with a new service, make some tweaks, or if it's just so far away from what you're interested in now, then quit. Try to sell the business if there's a way out, and if not, just abandon ship and go do something else, because this is the most important part right here, this part right now. You will never win doing work that you hate. You will never win, you will never have success, you will never get the goals that you want doing work that you hate, because the people who love doing that work will always crush you. You can have the most talent, the most skills, the most resources in the world, but if you do not love the work, if you do not love the process, you will get crushed, you will get demolished by the people who love it, and you will never be happy. You will always be a junior version of somebody else. And so you have to find the thing that you are so dead in love with. It's why finding your passion, doing the thing that you love, is consistently the number one most important rule that comes up over and over and over and over again in these videos, not because I'm sharing it, because all these people who've had success are sharing it. And so you will never win doing work that you hate. If you are loving the work that you're doing, if you have to find out if this is going to work or not, then you can never quit. Then you can never give up. Then you have to see it through, at least to know. You could deal with the failure, but you cannot deal with not knowing. But if you don't love what you're doing, if you don't love the thing anymore, then quit immediately. Move on, adjust, find something else, and know that there's something great for you out there.
Rule number 5, believe in yourself.
If I was going to go back and talk to 19-year-old Evan, who was borderline depressed, not liking himself, not happy with where he was, not proud of himself, what would I go back and tell that guy? Believe. Believe that it's possible. Believe that it's going to work out. Believe that you're capable. Believe that it will happen. Believe. You need more belief. And so that's a standard answer. And it's applicable for you. If you go through the who, why, how process and you figure out your most important core value, that's the message that you would go off and give to your younger self. I then, in an interview, realized, you know what? I love this question. This is actually a fantastic question. You know why I like this question? Because if 40-year-old Evan went back to 19-year-old Evan and told him, hey, you got to believe in yourself more. Do you know what 80-year-old Evan would come back and tell 40-year-old Evan? The same thing. Believe. 80-year-old Evan, if he could time warp back to right now and talk to 40-year-old Evan, he'd say, hey, Evan, believe in yourself more. Believe that it's possible. Believe that you're capable. Believe that it will work out. Believe. So whatever message you would give to your younger self is still the same message that you need right now. And when I discovered that, that was kind of my own little mind bomb for myself. It now becomes practical. Now, instead of just living in a fictitious world of what would I tell myself, but I can't time travel, now it's actually practical to say, hey, I don't want to disappoint 80-year-old Evan. I want to get to 80-year-old Evan and have him say, you did it. We did it. Or 120-year-old Evan or 240-year-old Evan, however long we're living when we get out that far. You did it.
Rule number 6, don't make money your number one.
Most people don't grow up with a healthy view on money. It's just facts. People do not grow up with a healthy view on money. People fall into two camps, and it's based off the programming that your parents and the people around you gave you. Two camps. The first is money is everything. That next person who walks into your store, who buys your, something on your website, that person is your next suit, is your next purse, right? It's your next, what kind of bag is this? Is your next Coach bag. It's your next Coach bag. That next person is, that's your next Porsche, right? Like that's how you see it. Money's a tool, and a very important tool. So money needs to be in your top 5. I like to say money needs to be in your top 5. It just can't be number 1. If you make money your number 1, you're never gonna ultimately have a lot of money. If you look at all the people that I've profiled, all the super successful people, the richest people in the world, I've profiled them. Go watch their videos. Money is not the number 1 driver for them. There's something above money. There has to be something above money, and that's your purpose, that's your mission. There has to be things that you would do no matter how much you got paid, even if it was free. I would still be helping entrepreneurs if I never got paid for it, because it fills my soul. And I remember that's what motivated me to actually start doing this, because I did a speech at a YMCA and 3 people showed up and it was absolutely free. And at the beginning I thought, this is a waste of time, and only 3 people showed up. And then by the end of it, I'm like, holy cow, I need to find a way to keep doing this, even if I never get paid. And I never thought I was going to get paid. So money has to be in your top 5. It has to be in your top 5. You have to get to the point where you know how to make money, but it just can't be number 1. So somewhere in 2 to 5, I don't care where it is. It's got to be somewhere in the 2 to 5 range. It can't be number 1, and it can't be out of your top 5. When you do that, now you're starting to have the grounds of building a successful business. Money is not evil, money is not wrong. You make money by providing value. So how can I help other people? How can I serve them? How can I solve a problem? At the core of every successful business is solving a problem.
Rule number 7, the last one before our very special bonus clip, have self-awareness.
The self-awareness is super important. Knowing what I stand for really helped me defend the positions that I had in my life when people were doubting me. Knowing that I stand for belief and knowing how that breaks down into passion, self-confidence, and conviction, and knowing really deeply having an understanding of myself. When you truly know yourself, you have a lot more confidence. It's easier to say no to people. It's easy to dismiss other people's opinions of you because you have your own opinion of yourself. Where if you don't know what you stand for, if you don't really know who you are, you don't have that self-awareness, then anytime somebody says something about you, you take it in and say, maybe I'm like that. Oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe their opinions are right. Where I couldn't care less. You don't like the Blue Jays, you don't like what I'm wearing, you don't like my message. I feel like, you might be wrong, but it's not gonna impact my self-worth. It's not gonna impact my confidence and belief in myself. And so understanding at the core who I am, having that self-awareness, knowing what my one word is massively important and had a big change on my life.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and you get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of following through. That's not enough. But when you write down what time, what place, and how you're going to actually take action on it, you jump to 91% chance of following through. And when you have public accountability and you commit to other people that you're gonna do it, it jumps to 95% that you will follow through. So I want that for you, Believe Nation. I wanna know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
We overthink trying to make ourselves look amazing when we're not at something, and that actually hurts you in any kind of relationship, whether you're going for a job interview or you're trying to bring on a partner or employees or in personal relationships. Because if you suck, like what's the worst thing you're going to say? I suck with people. I'm not a people person. Or I suck with details. I'm not very detail oriented. Like what is actually the thing that is your weakness? Like what is it? What are you so afraid to let people know? Because if it's that you are not very focused on details, and you cover that up and you manage to get through the interview, right? You manage to get hired. You get through the interview because they didn't find out your big secret. But then you're working in a job and attention to detail is actually important to that job. What's going to happen? One, you're not going to get promoted. You're going to, two, hate your life. And three, your boss is going to think you're an idiot. Like you're just not going to have a great experience, great time, great life, great career, all because back in the interview, you managed to hide the fact that you weren't great with details, right? Are you magically going to get better at details now? Like you could, but you won't enjoy it, right? You don't, if you wanted to work on that skill and improve it, you could have done it by now. You're not good at it. You don't want to be good at it. So don't be in a job that requires it, right? I think that happens far too often. I think it happens in dating world and dating life. You're always trying to put your best foot forward and cover up all these things that you're weak at. But as soon as they discover it, the relationship could be over, and you could have saved yourself 6 months by just being upfront with it. And so, this method maybe is not the greatest path to getting a job, to getting any job, but it's the path to getting the right job. It's not the path to getting any partnership, but it's the path to getting the right partnership or the right investor. If you go to an investor, you're trying to raise money for your business, you go to an investor and they ask you, what's your biggest weakness? And you are upfront to say, I suck with people, or I'm not really attention to detail oriented. You're honest with them, and they can find a solution around it to say, okay, well, it can still work, but we need to hire you somebody to be in charge of people, or we need to hire you somebody to be in charge of all the numbers and the details, because this is going to be really important for this to happen. And if they're not willing to think that way, and they're leaving the meeting thinking you're great with people or you're great with numbers, and then you're not, and then the business struggles and suffers, you got the wrong investor. If you lead with what actually is your weakness, if you're honest with it, you lead with honesty. Say, here's where I actually suck, and I could use some help with, and I could have I need to have people around me to support me on these things. The right boss, the right partner, the right investor, the right relationship will appreciate the honesty. It's refreshing. It's different. And it may mean you get a lot less job offers. I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that. I think it's actually better. I think it leads to a lot more happiness and a lot less struggle being in the wrong crappy job or relationship or investor that you hate, that may be really difficult for you to get out of. I think too many people are stuck in a career and in relationships that they hate because they were being fake right up front, and then now they don't know how to get out of it. Now they're stuck in this relationship that they absolutely hate, and they end up hating their life as well. Where if you were just upfront and honest and said, here's where I suck, here's my weakness, here's what I don't want, and here's what I do want, and finding a compatible partner, investor, mentor, all of it, I think you'll have more success. I think you'll be a lot more happy and less hiding and less fake. So I would say stop being so strategic and be more authentic, be more you. And some people will love you and some people won't like you, and that's okay. But the path to finding the people who like you is by you actually being you.
If you want to watch Evan's best advice for 15 years old, check out the video next to me. I think you're going to enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
What's up, man? Where are you from?
So I'm from Ghana, Africa.
What do you got? How can I help?
I wanted advice for a 15-year-old. Any advice at all?